If the suspicions are true, the Samsung Galaxy Z Fold 7 will once again highlight why the firm has dominated the folding phone sector for years. With a new generation of technological wizardry that promises thinner designs, larger screens, better durability, and a camera that may put the competition in your pocket, July 2025 is rapidly coming. What do we know about this upcoming star? Then, Samsung July plainly has it inscribed into the DNA of its foldable devices. Samsung Galaxy Z Fold 7 was revealed in July 2024, much like the Z Fold 5 a year earlier, and the Z Fold 7 will be no exception. Reliable sources like Ice Universe are already hinting about a huge summer launch that might deliver a few surprises in addition to the phone, possibly new bone conduction headphones. But the date is only the beginning. The actual news is in the design, which is touted to be slimmer and more ergonomic than ever before. Measuring 158.4 by 143.1 by 4.5 millimeters, the Z Fold 7 will be 1.1 millimeters slimmer than its predecessor when unfurled. The outside screen will be 11 millimeters bigger, meaning there will finally be no more unpleasant typing on a too narrow keyboard, while the inner screen is supposed to extend to roughly 8.2 inches. Renders provided by OnLeaks and Android Headlines reveal a sleek triple camera configuration on the back, styled in the manner of the S25 Ultra, while also boasting a better hinge and increased water and dust protection. This may be the first fold to weather the summer rain without drama. One of the most interesting speculations is the introduction of a 200 megapixels primary camera, which we previously saw on the Galaxy S25 Ultra. This would be a considerable boost from the 50 megapixels on the Z Fold 6 and may make the Samsung Galaxy Z Fold 7 one of the greatest camera phones on the market. The 12 megapixels ultra-wide-angle camera and 10 megapixels telephoto camera will most likely stay same, while the under-display selfie camera beneath the inner screen will get an update. How much better it will be than the present 4 megapixels camera is not yet apparent, but even a slight gain might imply a huge step forward in the quality of selfies and video calls. Samsung is definitely counting on the notion of more pixels, better photos, but whether this will hold true remains to be seen in reality. Under the hood, the Z Fold 7 will likely be powered by the Snapdragon 8 Elite for Galaxy chipset, the same as the S25 Ultra, which promises sheer power without compromise. So yet, there are no hints that Samsung is experimenting with Exynos or Dimensity processors. No big changes are planned for the battery, however. It will stay at 4400 mAh, with charging still continuing at the same rates as its predecessor. This implies that those of you who dreamt of 65-watt charging will not receive your money's worth yet. Nevertheless, the battery will give ample juice for all-day usage, since Samsung has been tweaking its software for the maximum possible autonomy for years. The S Pen is a vital addition for many with the Fold, but here is where things become difficult. According to some rumors, Samsung is apparently discarding the standard digitizer in favor of a new technology that allows for a slimmer design, which might lead to a 0.6 mm decrease in the thickness of the device. This might indicate that the S Pen will lose Bluetooth capabilities, like it did with the Galaxy S25 Ultra, or it could operate in another manner, akin to the Apple Pencil. How this modification will affect the user experience while drawing and taking notes will only become obvious at the launch. Samsung may yet have a surprise up its sleeve, but for now, it appears like the Samsung Z Fold 7 will be an evolution, not a revolution. Larger displays, a slimmer profile, a brutal camera, and steady power, all of this seems like a formula for success. Water resistance will presumably stay at the IPX8 rating, like the Z Fold 6, which implies the phone will survive a plunge in water, but dust resistance remains doubtful. The price remains undisclosed for now, but if Samsung is clever, it won't exaggerate, since rivals like the Honor Magic V3 and OnePlus Open are already severely breathing down its neck. Samsung Display, independent from Samsung Electronics, exhibited a creaseless screen on a foldable phone at the Phone Focus conference. While the two are nominally their independent organizations, the electronics division receives its display panels from Samsung Display. The wrinkle has steadily been decreasing throughout the foldable phones industry over the past few years. The Z Fold 6 offers a noticeably smaller fold than the Fold 5 and the Pixel 9 Pro Fold. Assuming the panel is indeed ready for production, we might see it on the Z Fold 7, which is most likely to arrive in July at Samsung's Summer Unpacked event. That said, although Samsung Display and Electronics are frequent collaborators, they do work on their own timeframes, meaning the Creaseless display may not have been built in time for the Fold 7, thus we could see utilized on next year's Galaxy Z Fold 8. Either way, the panel Samsung Display showcased at the conference does hint to possible improvements for Samsung's future foldables. From what we can gather, the Creaseless display seems bigger than that of the Z Fold 6, quite sizable at 7.6 inches when unfurled. This means that the phone itself will be bigger, which would feature a larger external display. Recent drawings of the Z Fold 7 hint to this, which would include a more conventional phone size with a 6.5-inch cover display and 8-inch internal. Additionally, the exhibited display looks to feature a hole-punch design for the selfie camera, which suggests to an upgraded camera. An under-display camera is easy to conceal while utilizing the entire screen. So this alteration may be a question of taste when it comes to whether or not is an improvement. We'll know more this summer whether or if Samsung is ready to deploy the new panel this year or wait until 2026. Either way, it'll be a pleasant update. A significant Samsung Galaxy Z Fold 7 accessory may have just been revealed, as leaker Panda Flash Pro reveals that a new S Pen pen will accompany the large Samsung Foldable when it releases later this year. This redesigned S Pen will supposedly have a new tip design for a better writing experience, and a thicker form factor than the existing S Pen Fold Edition, the foldable-specific version of Samsung's pen with a spring tip to make sure you don't push too hard on the delicate inner display. The new tip seems like an undoubtedly beneficial adjustment if it is true, but a fatter stylus might become difficult. It might make carrying both the foldable and the stylus about a bit more challenging, depending on how Samsung chooses to execute this purported update. But similarly, it may not be a significant concern for current foldable users. To yet, no Galaxy Z Fold devices have included built-in S Pens, instead depending on customized covers with slots for the S Pen. Anyone already utilizing S Pen with a Galaxy Z Fold should be accustomed to lugging around a bulkier than average phone loadout. Even if we are going to see the S Pen go bigger, it's better to hear that than the prior reports of Samsung discarding the S Pen totally for its foldables. This is allegedly a possibility for the Galaxy Z Fold 7, considering the Galaxy Z Fold SE, the special edition foldable that the Z Fold 7 will supposedly be built on, doesn't have any pen support. Perhaps Samsung has opted to alter the display of the new phone to bring the digitizer back in, or the Z Fold 7 is not as directly related to the Z Fold SE as we have been informed. Either way, we're hopeful the S Pen isn't a goner, since the massive inner screen of a foldable is an excellent canvas for some on-the-go drawing or note-taking. One additional factor is that the newly announced S25 Ultra received a downgrade to its S Pen, which no longer supports Bluetooth functionality. The S Pen Fold Edition never featured Bluetooth. It's strictly a passive pen, but fingers crossed we don't see Samsung attempt to trim away functions here too. Panda Flash Pro also believes that manufacturing for the S Pen would start in June, which fits up with the Z Fold 7's projected arrival in July or August. The Galaxy Z Fold 7 should debut with a smaller foldable, with this year being the Galaxy Z Flip 7. Rumored updates including a new and more powerful CPU, a thinner design and updated cameras might help both of these phones achieve higher ranks on our top foldable phones ranking, depending on what rivals get up to with their foldables this year. The Samsung Galaxy Z Fold 7 promises to take everything we love about foldables and do it a bit better. A thinner design for a lighter pocket, a bigger screen for more comfortable typing, a camera that may surpass many DSLRs, and a CPU that can manage it all. If you're a lover of tech devices or just searching for a phone that can do more than the others, the Z Fold 7 is worth considering. Next, Samsung unveiled its first phone with a folding screen, the Fold 5G, which also happens to be the world's first commercially accessible phone with a foldable display over 6 years ago. Samsung's immediate opponent in the smartphone industry, Apple, is well behind in the race since it has yet not introduced a foldable phone. Reports predict that it will arrive next year. Well, now a fresh source verifies that, saying that the competition to the Galaxy Z Fold 8 from Apple is on the road. According to Jeff Pu, Apple is on pace to produce an iPhone with a foldable display in 2026. The expert predicts that Apple will start mass-producing it in the second half of 2026. Earlier this month, Ming-Cho Kuo said that Apple will price the first foldable iPhone at more over $2,000. It will feature a 7.8-inch inner screen and a 5.5-inch outside panel. In 2026, Samsung may unveil the Galaxy Z Fold 8, a sequel to the Galaxy Z Fold 7 that will appear later this year. Considering the recent claim, it will have a direct challenge from Apple, a first for a Z Fold series handset. Although Apple will be 8 years late to the race by then, it will be intriguing to watch what it comes up with and how people react to it. Last year, Apple released the iPhone 16 series. One of the things Apple emphasized about the devices in the range is Apple Intelligence, a suite of AI-powered services akin to Google and Samsung. However, Apple has still not delivered many of those features in many places, which has disappointed many and left them with little incentive to switch to iPhone 16. That, allegedly, has dampened the demand for the iPhone 16 series. According to Jeff Pu, the foldable iPhone will alter that. It will offer customers a cause to acquire a new iPhone and eventually enhance the demand for phones from Apple. The Cupertino-based tech firm is also working on a smartphone with an 18-inch folding display. It may emerge as a folding iPad or a foldable Mac. So stay tuned for further updates on the Z Fold 7, and feel free to share your expectations for this exciting new device in the comments below. Then I will see you in my next video. Peace out.